I am so honored that you're with us.
Thank
Great
you.
to see you.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
It is, and it's like there's so much energy. I was just talking like a few minutes ago. You had like Charlie Kirk is up on the main stage. You had Alex Clark like over here. There was Steve Bannon like, and they're all going on at the same time. You're like, whoa!
I know.
What kind of conference would do that and spread that around simultaneously? And every room is full.
And with an audience of mostly young people
Yeah.
who are patriotic and ready to make a difference in their country and care
Yes.
about the country's future. I have to admit that wasn't me at their age, but I'm really glad that Charlie Kirk has inspired this movement.
Amen. So like that inspires me. I got 4 kids, and I will say, like, I look at the future and I'm like, look, there are a lot of bright spots. There are reasons why we've got to be not apprehensive, but we need to be careful.
Vigilant, right?
And vigilant. But the future is bright for conservatism, especially among young people. You had something, we were talking a little bit, the OBBB, the one big beautiful bill. There's a lot of controversy for some around the spending, around what that bill did and didn't accomplish. I told many people, in my opinion, it's a first things first.
Right.
It wasn't a fix all. It wasn't a fix most, but there were certain things that had to be addressed immediately. And we have to recognize that politics is the art of possibility. What can we get done?
What can you get done?
So what do you see there?
Well, I definitely think that the bill was the best thing that we could get the votes for. Someone who's very familiar with what goes on in Congress, I can tell you there are a lot of things to celebrate, especially when it comes to education, higher education, accountability, capping student loans. But most near and dear to my heart is the expansion of school choice. In fact, the largest school choice program this country has ever seen. I don't think it's gotten enough attention, but I'm telling the world about the very first federal tax credit scholarship that's now going to be available across the country. That's unlimited and permanent, doesn't even sunset. And so I think this solidifies Donald Trump as the school choice president is something that's going to be transformational for the school choice movement.
Okay, school choice is huge. We as parents, we actually homeschool. But one of the things I want this country to get back to our founding when it comes to education. Education is the catalyst for freedom. You think about the family, you think about raising up the next generation of citizens that are the vanguards for freedom. Why are you so big on education?
Well, it was personal for me. I needed school choice and didn't have it. I have 3 children, and I found out that one size certainly doesn't fit all. I moved into a neighborhood where it was supposed to be the A school district, the best school in the county, and it didn't work for one of my children. And I had to find a different option. I had to drive him there. It didn't have a bus. I had to get out my credit card and pay for tuition. But you know what? It changed his life. He ended up loving school, loving learning, loved classical education specifically, and is now going to go on to study history and college. But I thought, how many other parents are out there who need an option, who can't listen to the experts because they don't know what they're talking about half the time. You know best for your own child, just like you and your family, and they should be able to choose the best education for their children. And so I left financial services where I was for 20 years, ran for school board, and really dedicated my life to expanding school choice across this country. Yeah,
it's huge. Talk a little bit about how it's transformed the state of Florida. Because I think, I'm going to just say this really quick. I have friends, lots of friends. I live in Central Virginia. That's where Liberty is. But I have tons of friends that are saying, man, you've got to move to Florida because we have tax credits in the state of Florida that follow the kids wherever they go.
Well, but lucky for you, thanks to this new tax credit, you also can take advantage of a similar program that we have in Florida. In Florida, over half of our students are attending a school that they chose that is not their zone school. So we have come a long way in the 25 years that we've been advancing school choice in this state, including now the Universal Scholarship Program, where any family with children in the state of Florida can access private funds, a private account that the parent controls, about $8,000 to $9,000, and they can use it on homeschool expenses. They can use it on online programs. They can use it for private school tuition or micro schools or even extracurricular activities, tutoring, special needs services. They can customize an education that works best for their children, as parents know best. And whether that means homeschooling, which, as you know, is the fastest growing manner of education in this country, or it's some combination of in-person and online or homeschooling. And so that's what's exciting about Florida. We're showing that the free market can actually work. We've got new vendors, new innovations, new schools coming into the state because of this expanded program. And I think the free market, which I am a big believer in,
Amen.
is going to do what the free market always does, which is increase access, increase quality, and really increase performance of our students across the board.
So well stated as to the value of that. I think is really important. Okay, I got to ask you a final question. Role of faith. At Liberty University, faith is big in what we do, everything that we do. It's the intersect really of faith in the public square, faith in the marketplace. But just anecdotally, just the role of faith in your life.
Oh, I wouldn't be where I am without God. My husband and I met in college. We also dedicated our lives to Christ, both in college and then as we graduated, as we got married, really started serving in church. We were youth leaders for about 15 years. Yes, and spent a lot of time while we were having our children, taking kids to youth camp. My husband preached a lot as the stand-in for our youth pastor for those years. And so serving the Lord and really surrounding ourselves with people who help to push us forward both in our faith and in our walk, really brought us to a place where now we could serve others in a way outside of the church. We served inside the church for all of those years, but that kind of set us up for this public service that we're doing now. My husband in Congress, me doing a lot of this education work, and it's all along the journey, and we're trusting God every single day to give us the wisdom that we need to make the right decisions, to surround ourselves with the right people, and to serve in the best way that we possibly can. I mean, this is a calling, and we're just thankful that God has put us in this position, and we trust him every day to just lead us on the right path.
Awesome. Fantastic, Erika. Thank you so much for all you're doing. Certainly on the side of education, really appreciate you joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.